Introducing the remarkable archetype, the dangerous gentleman. With a demeanor that commands respect and a hint of potency, he embodies strength tempered by virtue. Though his capabilities could veer towards danger, he channels his power for noble causes, serving others and safeguarding those in need. Rooted in a profound love for both God and humanity, he navigates life with discipline and purpose. In his presence, one witnesses the harmonious blend of power and benevolence, a testament to the true essence of masculinity. Step into the world of the dangerous gentleman, where strength is wielded for righteousness, and discover a captivating embodiment of honor and valor. Greetings, and welcome to the Dangerous Gentleman podcast. Yes, I am the Dangerous Gentleman. No, I did not give myself that nickname, but I certainly did earn it. I'm trying a little something different today. I'm actually taking a walk outside while I record this. I figure for the topic at hand, I needed a little fresh air and physical stimulation because it's going to get a little deep and it's going to get a little spicy, probably. So if you're paying attention much to the world, you realize that there's a whole bunch of stuff that's going crazy. Politics is crazy, society is crazy, culture is crazy, our daily lives, even if we're trying our best to just do our thing, they're getting pretty crazy. It's getting harder to live, it's getting harder to make a living, it's getting harder to make a stand, it's getting harder to just be yourself, it's getting harder to blend in because every decision you make seems to polarize. Everything you do puts you on one side or the other. I probably will get a little bit into specific politics, but the point is that everyone right now is calling for everyone to try to come together. But we're constantly being pitched against one another. The powers that be, I'll let you determine who that is. I have my ideas, but they don't want us to come together. They don't want us to realize that we agree on most things. So they constantly are pitting us against each other. They tell us that we're not supposed to like each other. They tell us that if we have certain political beliefs, that we're not supposed to like other people with different political beliefs or whatever. So I'm going to try to bring a little sanity today. I'm going to present my perspective. You got to tell the truth. And I have mentioned that before on my podcast. Like, we can't compromise on what the truth actually is. So you have to tell the truth. That's the bottom line. Everything else can go to hell, but you got to tell the truth. You can tell the truth in different ways, but you got to tell the truth, because if you compromise on your truth, then what good are you? You're no good, right? And so you got to tell the truth at all costs. And I've talked a bit too about the difference between what the truth is and what honesty is. The truth is the truth. The truth is 2 + 2 = 4. The truth is 5,280 feet in a mile. There are certain things that are just truth, right? The Bible has 10 commandments. Those are what we're supposed to follow. Those are the core, the bedrock of how to live a good life. Certain things are truth. Men are men, women are women, and that's just the way things are, right? Those things are truth. And you can argue with them. And again, the powers that be are trying to blur all the lines. They're trying to blur the lines so that we're all one big cosmic blob. They want all borders done away with. They want all distinction done away with. They want everyone to kind of just mix together to create an amorphous goo and build society in their image after that. That's a little bit of an aside, but it gets to the point of what I want to talk about today, is that there is truth. There's a lot of pressure in the media right now. There's a lot of pressure, social media, mainstream media, just about everywhere you look, to follow your heart, to follow your gut, to let your emotion be your guide. Well, that's not really a very good guide. You're not going to get real far, real fast, or really much of anywhere. But all you ever do is let your emotions lead you. Yes, your emotions help determine some of your decisions, but you got to have a core bedrock. You got to have something that you're leaning on. And this is why I've talked about the orthodoxy concept before, is that people are looking for a foundation, right? But we are constantly being preached at that we're supposed to live by our emotion. We're supposed to make decisions based on how we feel about a political candidate, how we feel about an issue in society or culture, right? We're supposed to make all of our decisions based on emotion. Well, the thing is that emotions can change from one day to the next, and emotions can be manipulated very easily through images, through sounds, through using specific words. If you allow yourself to constantly be blown about by the winds of your emotions, you're going to lose your footing. And the world is full of people who have lost their footing. Can you disregard your emotions too much? Absolutely, 100%, right? But should they be the foundation? Should they be the guide by which you make the big decisions in your life? No, you have to have something to lean on. You have to have facts. You have to have reason. You have to have some logic, because tomorrow you might wake up and feel differently. You might hear a song on the radio that makes you feel differently. Our emotions are constantly being toyed with, whether it's intentional or not intentional. Stories are told in the media. Stories are told by influencers. Stories are told in order to try to get a certain point across. And if you're just allowing those stories to dictate who you are, don't let someone else's story dictate who you are. Because then tomorrow, someone else is going to tell you a story that is better, that is more emotional, that is more compelling, and you're going to change your mind. So find a set of principles. Operate on a set of principles rather than emotions. Because if you rely on principles over emotions, you'll always have something to lean back on. And you won't have to worry so much about making the wrong decision. Because if it's a principle-based decision, you know you made it from an objective place. You know you made it from a principled position. And you can rest on that principle. And you don't have to worry about how you feel about it. You don't have to worry about whether it made you angry or happy or sad. You made the right decision because it was the right decision to make, okay? I heard a saying a while back, and it kind of applies here right now. And that is, if you always tell the truth, you never have to worry about what you told somebody. And they were relating it to people who have a tendency to lie or tell different people different versions of the truth, right? And then depending on who they're with, they have to remember, they have to keep a constant catalog of what they told this person or what they told that person. They have to keep up with all the lies and all the different stories that they have told different people. And so the point of the saying is that if you always tell the truth, then you don't have to keep track of all that information. You don't have to catalog all of that stuff. You don't have to remember what lies or facts or what you left out of the story, depending on who you're talking to, because you told the truth every single time. And that's the same with emotions and principles. If you always make a decision from a principled perspective, you might feel bad about it. There might be times when you regret it. There might be times when someone else's feelings are hurt. There are going to be things that tug on you one way or the other. But if you always have that pier, that foundation that you are leaning on, then you don't have to worry so much about making the right decision or the wrong decision, because it's based on an absolute. And once again, I'm not telling you to disregard your emotions, but don't let them rule you, especially in making the big decision. On another level, it's like the difference between motivation and discipline, right? Motivation comes and goes. You might wake up in the morning and feel motivated to go to the gym. You might feel motivated to be a good person. You might feel motivated to be a good dad or to go to work or a good mom or whatever it is, right? You might feel motivated that day. And so you do that thing that you're supposed to do. You do the thing. You go to work, you work hard, whatever it is. If you're motivated, you do it. But if you wake up the next morning and you don't feel like doing it, are you still going to do it? The motivation, the emotion, the feeling can't be what drives you. This is where you have to fall back on things like discipline. If you're disciplined, you're going to get up and you're going to be a good dad. You're going to be a good mom. You're going to go to work. You're going to work hard. You're going to hit the gym. You're going to follow your diet. You're going to do all of that regardless if you learn to rely on discipline. And no, discipline isn't always sexy. Discipline doesn't always feel good. Discipline isn't always comfortable. But you can learn how to take a high amount of satisfaction in doing what you need to do no matter what. That's what discipline means to me. Discipline to me is doing what you need to do, doing what you're supposed to do, no matter what. And so, in this crazy, topsy-turvy world that we're living in, it seems to be always in chaos. Order is how we escape the chaos. Discipline, truth, absolutes. Remember those things. So have those on lockdown. Know what those are to you. Know what they are, and it's not how you feel every day. Have a foundation. There's a lot of talk about cultural Christianity these days. Some of these big names. Joe Rogan, Christopher Hitchens, I think is his name. He's a famous atheist. And they're talking about cultural Christianity. And they're talking about the world needs to live by a certain set of principles. And in those guys' mind, like those principles are the principles found in the Bible and in Christianity. And they're like, even if I don't believe in the spiritual part, even if it's never a spiritual decision, we recognize that there is a need for absolutes. We recognize that there is a need to live culturally like a Christian by the basic rules, the 10 Commandments. Easier said than done. But the point is, find that thing, right? We have veered so far as a culture and a society from principles. We want it to be just based on how we feel. We want what makes us happy. And so whatever makes us happy, whatever makes us feel good, that is the highest order of the day. But if everyone is doing that, if you have 7 billion people living based on what feels good for them that day, the world is going to be in chaos. And once again, I'm going to use that kind of nebulous they. One of the things they say is out of chaos comes order. So keep your head on a swivel. Look around. Where you see chaos being perpetuated through not punishing crimes, through having different standards applied to different people for the exact same things, that's chaos. That's what you need to keep your eye out for, right? Don't let your heart and mind be swayed by emotion. Have a set of core principles. And regardless of who it is or what the situation may be, apply those principles to every single situation and try your best. It's difficult. I know it's difficult. I have difficulty doing it. But apply the principles to this situation, regardless of who it is, regardless of what side of the issue that you're on. Don't judge based on emotion. Judge based on principles. Right is right, regardless of who's doing it, and wrong is wrong, regardless of who's doing it. Make decisions based on principles, not emotions. One last thing before I close. There is a peace in principles. There is a peace in what I am talking about that is, as Jordan Peterson likes to put it, it is the antidote to chaos. Principles, foundations, they are the antidote to chaos, because you can be living in a chaotic world. You can wake up feeling however you want to feel. You can wake up feeling hopeless, sad, miserable, angry, happy, whatever it is. If you have a principle, if you have something that's deeply planted inside of you It cannot be shaken. It doesn't matter how you wake up. You're still going to get up. You're still going to execute, right? You're still going to do what you need to do. You're still going to try your best to think through every situation. And you're going to be able to eventually derive a certain amount of happiness in knowing that you're doing the right thing, no matter what. It's worked for me in the gym, right? I used to go to the gym when I felt like it. I would work hard in the gym when I felt like it, when I felt motivated. Now, I just get up and I go to the gym regardless. And when I'm there and I'm doing my thing and I'm sweating and I'm working hard and I'm lifting the weights, even if I don't feel motivated, there is a sense of satisfaction. There's a sense of peace that comes over me that creates its own motivation, its own happiness. And I've noticed the same thing in regards to the chaos around me in this world. When it comes to the craziness, if I just let myself be blown back and forth, I feel unsettled. I feel that anger. But when I rest on the principles and I try to make the best decision possible based on the truth and the fact, there is a peace that comes over me that doesn't come any other time. So that's my encouragement to you. Find those principles, walk on them, walk in them, no matter what. Yes, emotions matter, but no, they should not be the driving force of the decisions that you make, because they are as unstable as a storm. Rely on principles, rely on foundations, because those are the pier that you can tie your boat up to. I hope you got something out of this. Keep those piers, keep that pier in mind over the course of the next few months. So as the world gets crazy and chaos starts to reign, and the attempt to divide us gets stronger and stronger and stronger, keep that anchor in mind. Keep tied to the anchor. Keep tied to the pier. Keep from being blown around by whatever wind is the loudest in your ear. Hold on to your faith, because in the end, that may be all that you have. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it gives you something solid to hang on to as the world starts to spin. And sorry, not sorry for recording it outside. You're getting me raw and uncut today. And so if there's a little wind or whatever, it is what it is. I'll talk to you next time. So if you like this content, please give it a rating, a review, and share it with your friends. Also, if you'd like to learn a little bit more about me and what I'm all about and what I can maybe do for you, check out my website at thedangerousgentleman.org. That's thedangerousgentleman.org. Thank you for listening.